And welcome to the Big C Show, episode 9. I got two co hosts, Cameron and Shauna. Welcome, Shauna.
Hello.
We got such an opposite episode today. Awesome episode. I can't even talk right now. I'm so excited. We have none other than the one and only uh, owner of Crippling Hot Sauce, Drew. Drew, welcome to the Big C Show, man. It's so good to have you.
Right. Thanks for having me, Caesar. Really appreciate it.
Welcome, man. Oh my gosh, man. It's been a crazy playoff run here. You saw me on X and sent me a message, and from what I hear, you're a Dallas Stars fan. Tell us a little bit about that.
Dallas Star. I actually, um, as far as who was in the playoffs, yeah, but I actually grew up in St. Louis. I'm a Blues fan. Um,
Oh, okay, cool. So
long, long
that's
term
awesome.
Blues fan, but yeah, um, grew up in St. Louis, born and raised, and uh, I actually had the honor of meeting a lot of the players through the years, and because they do a great job at kind of involving the disabled community. So I've just been very close and have had a close relationship with them through my 20 years of life. So yeah, but as far as who was in the playoffs after the Blues, I was cheering for Dallas, and then once Dallas got out, I was cheering for the Panthers mainly because of
There we
Matthew
go.
Tkachuk. But
Oh,
yeah,
nice, nice. I was gonna say, since you're in St. Louis, obviously, Matthew's dad played for St. Louis, right, for so many
yeah.
years. The Kutchucks
Mhm.
has already been such a big part of that community over there in Missouri, St. Louis area. Talk about growing up being a Matthew Kutchuk fan and maybe a fan of his dad.
So yeah, I mean, obviously growing up in St. Louis, his dad was a St. Louis Blues legend. Grew up
Right,
watching, when I was super young, seeing him in games or watching his highlights. It was all up until 2019. It was like one of like the milestones of the Blues because we never won a cup before then. So all you had to do was fantasize about the good players that we had and that we were never able to win a cup with. So I just remember growing up watching his highlights, and then his kid went to school at Chaminade, which is like 30 minutes away from me, and I remember watching him in high school thinking this kid was gonna be good, and then when he got drafted to the Flames, I was like, man, that sucks. Nobody wants to play for a Canadian team. You know, uh, and
right,
they never win anything. So I
right.
was like,
They haven't won
man,
in what 30-something years.
yeah,
93
it's
years.
been so long. So I'm like, man, and I'd rather a career wasted away by a Canadian team, but thank, thankfully he got traded to Florida, and even when he was in Florida, I was like, up until recent years, as you know, it's the Florida Panthers have had like a run like the Blues, where
Yep.
it's been very close at times, but very disappointing. And so, yeah, but I'm happy to see him doing well and winning multiple cups in a row now. And man, what a run it's been for Florida hockey the last, half a decade. Who would have thought? Uh,
Right. I
one
mean,
of
the
the
last
warmest states in the U.S. And yeah, I was cheering for Tampa Bay back in those days too because of um, Pat Maroon.
okay,
But
a
he
lot of
was.
a lot of people here in South Florida did not like Pat Maroon. So
I, it, it's kind of how we think of how people think about like Pat Maroon is like how people in St. Louis think about like a Brad Marchand, but like
right,
at least Brad Marchand has skills. Pat Maroon just buries the puck when it needs to be and knows how to fight a little bit. But
Yep.
The big rig.
yeah,
Yes.
but yeah.
Awesome. Awesome, Drew. Let's kind of go back a little bit. I want to get to for people to know who you are. Um, Tell us about your condition, your disability, and growing up, and how has sports impacted your life?
So yeah, so I was born with cerebral palsy. I kind of have an interesting birth story. So I was actually, my mom at the time that I was born, she was on a business trip at the time. She sold insurance, won a trip to SeaWorld, and it was like 8 weeks before I was due, and the doctor's like, ah, you should be able to make it out and to be just fine. So, you know, my took my older brother to SeaWorld, just in line for a hot dog, and her water broke, and at
No way.
SeaWorld, yeah, at SeaWorld I was her water broke, and so I was born in San Diego, and I think my family knew from that moment my life story was going to be an interesting one. And so growing up, like, I grew up in a small town, like 40 miles south of St. Louis, of less than 1,000 people. So, um, until I kind of came in the system, I was the first person ever in a in general education classes to come out of kind of go into the kind of school system that we have here. So I was kind of a pioneer from the beginning, and I knew I was always like, just like everybody else. But especially when I was younger, was tough for people my age to see that, and it always like kind of frustrated me. So I remember from a young age of kind of developed like this dark sense of humor, and through meshing with other people, I kind of realized like that's kind of how we all are. And then I found hockey at around age 5 from my dad and fell in love. And unfortunately, I tried to play like adaptive sled hockey, but like having cerebral palsy, you don't have as much kind of um control over your limbs as you need for something like that. So I ended up going into it's called power soccer, and I ended
Nice.
up working my way up into the 10th best team in the nation, and starting on that, and really cultivating that. And then after 6 years, I got tired of it and was like, that's when I really started to think about like adult life and what I may be able to do. And throughout my entire life, I've been like saving money because I knew like I was gonna need it for something one day. And
Right.
so right, what got me started with this whole journey right now currently is at age 14, I weighed 320 pounds, and my
No
doctors
way.
at the time said, You're going to be bedridden by age 18 if you don't make a change." And they basically thought that meant my life was over. And over COVID, I said, you know what, watch me. And I lost 150 pounds. And that's kind of how I got into hot sauce, because it's a low calorie condiment. And then the year after that, I um just so happened to have a school business project, and it was due in 2 days, and I'm like, what am I gonna do? And so I look down, I look at myself, and right there I came up with the idea, using the humor I've always had and my desire to show people about the disabled community and our personalities. I'm like, it'd be funny to name something Crippling Hot Sauce. So that's when I really
So
get into it, and then was like, let's donate 5% to disabled kids, while, shaping, like reshaping the perspective around the disabled community. I present it, I get an 82, and like for me, that was considered a bad grade. Never got something like that before, so I realized, like, I'm like, I wonder what I could have done better. Went up to the teacher at the time, asked him why, and he said, like, I thought it was a cool idea, just thought it was unrealistic and don't think you could do it. So I docked your points. So just like I used that as motivation for my weight loss, I used that as motivation to start my business. And fast forward to today, last year alone, we're so hundreds of thousands of bottles, all while
Wow.
donating 5% along the way. And I really just want to, just like you, I'm sure, Caesar, I want to be the 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 voice that I never had. I really want to be one of the pioneers for the disabled community because other minority groups have had great leaders and stuff like that, but unfortunately, the disabled community uh, has still been left behind. And um,
Yeah.
the it's funny, so I really think I was put on earth to be that, and I was like thinking like I just felt like the urge to be the like a spokesperson and a leader for so long for the disabled community, and like the most ironic thing about that is ADA was passed on July 26th, 1990. I was actually born on July 26th as well, which is just
Wow.
interesting. The fact that I was born on the same day that ADA was passed, of course, 15 years later, but still, I think it's crazy. I think everything happens for a reason. That's what I just try to spill into people is like, no matter, what situation you might be in, um, your life isn't over because
Right.
I never knew what I was going to be able to do.
No, that's such an inspirational story, man. And it goes to show you that no matter what situation you're put in, whether you're disabled or where you're dealing with a mental issue, you can always put your mind to something that you want to accomplish, and only you have the ability to get to where you want to be in your journey, right?
Yeah.
No matter what other people tell you, whether you can do this, you can do that, ultimately you have the ability to do anything you want to do. And I think both of us show that with our platform, especially me with what I've done with these last playoff runs, right? But throughout my life, I've always dealt with adversity. So I kind of want to go back to a little bit you growing up in school. I'm sure just being in that environment with other kids around, other people, how did they treat you? Did they treat you as normal as could be, or did you have those instances where people made fun of you, and how did you deal with that situation?
I mean, for me it's different because from a young age, I always kind of wore my disability like on my sleeve and always was the first one to make fun of myself. And I always say, like, every time I get asked this question, it's hard to make fun of somebody that's already made all the jokes that can be made about yourself 10 times. Like, if they know it's not going to affect you, they're not even going to bother. Like, and so I actually, my that has been able to shape a ton of different friendships, for me, that I've had for since third grade over many years. My best friend since third grade actually works for me now and travels with me full time and is my assistant and helps stuff like that. So like it just like from a young age, I just kind of used my sense of humor to show people that I am, quote unquote normal, even though that's like a setting on the dryer. And that I want, like, don't make the joke behind my back. I want you to say it to my face because I'll probably think it's funny. Like,
Right.
like
And I think that's kind of how it all started with me and Biz, right?
yeah,
I don't think he saw a guy in a wheelchair would come on X and literally call him out, and Toronto fans. And honestly, all those comments that Toronto fans made, I thought was hilarious. So I
yeah,
welcomed it.
uh,
You and I, that's something we have in common. Like, people can make fun of us, but honestly, we've dealt with so much more stuff throughout our lives that doesn't really bother us, right?
yeah. But the crazy thing about Biz, I actually think he has a disability too. If you have ever seen his highlights, it looks like he's got some sort of something.
That's great. Oh my gosh.
I had no idea where that was going.
That
It
was
was great.
awesome,
I was
man.
like, is there something we don't know about Biz?
Well, I guess we all know now. It
Yeah.
all makes sense. It all
Yeah.
makes sense.
I mean,
So.
I think I got a better chance at scoring on an NHL goalie than he does at this point. Yeah.
Oh man, I love it, Drew. Oh
No,
man, your sense of humor is awesome, bro.
I
So
love
yeah,
Biz though. He's awesome.
no, he's
We
such
should
a great
have a
guy.
shootout competition. You,
That
Drew, and Biz.
that would
Oh,
be
I think.
so funny.
So Ed, that's a great challenge. We got to have that happen, right? I
Yeah.
no, for sure. Um, so kind of go into. You say you got into sports, into wheelchair soccer, right?
Yeah.
How does that shape you going forward? Were you in the Olympics, with Special Olympics, and
Um.
is that right?
So I I was on the cusp of the Paralympics for that. Was never able to make it. I have done like some like regional competitions, and so that's kind of it. But like so yeah, I got a few medals for it and stuff. But it really was able to kind of fuel my competitive nature that I was never able to hone in on with other things. So I think it really just let me lock in and realize like if you put your energy towards something, you'll be good at it. And I remember like from a young age, it was just like taking it super not serious. Like I remember as like at the time I was 8 years old, just playing around and like I just like I would like bet people in the stands like I bet you $20 that I'll score this from half court, and so the next play I would just rip it from half court. So it'd be like, where's my 20? I'd be like hustling like it's a pool table to make money.
There we
And so I've just always had like this competitive spirit, but I've always like had it in a fun way. Like I never was a one to take something too serious because like I knew like you know, as soon as you take life too serious, especially when you're dealt with something like a disability, your life is gonna be miserable. So like
right.
yeah, so between that and I remember I I dominated local Special Olympics for like 4 years and got like tons of gold medals on that too. But then once they kind of realized what I was doing it for, which was to skip out on work and not
Oh my
have to
gosh.
do it, they were like, they put the kibosh on that. I was like, oh, that's kind of stupid. Okay, and it's like I should have released a retirement announcement in sixth grade.
Retired
Um,
early there, right?
yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so
so
great.
but yeah, I've always like when I do something, I do it to the best of my ability and I put all my energy into it. And so I knew like when the teacher gave me the not so good grade, I just knew it was another challenge that I needed to complete off my list. And here we are today. I just look at life like a video game, and I think that has kind of helped me succeed in many facets.
Awesome. You guys have any questions?
So you mentioned that you started to get into like the hot sauce during your fitness journey. Did you always like hot sauce, or was that
Um,
something you found because it was low calorie?
so I always like liked hot sauce, but like I come from a traditional salt and pepper family that likes no spice whatsoever. So we really never had it in the kind of fridge until probably I was about 11, and so kind of those 3 years I would use it like lightly, just like super mild stuff, and be like, oh, this is pretty good. And then as somebody does that on that, I never really looked at a nutrition panel until I was trying to lose weight, and I was like, wait, some condiments have a decent amount of calories, but this one has not, like, very little or none at all. I like hot sauce is good. I'll just use that instead. And so over that, I really kind of got, fascinated with the world of hot sauce and like the different brands and flavors and stuff like that. But then I realized oh, a lot of hot sauce is the same, and a lot of it, there's not a good cause behind it, and I've yet to see, a brand, whether it's food or just traditionally, like, support something like the disabled community, which affects billions. So I was like, when I was creating that plan and going through my head, I was like, this is a funny idea for a school project. But then in the back of my head, I think at that time, every, 15, 16-year-old is a procrastinator. So in my head, I was like, that would actually be a funny business. But I'm like, I'm probably not going to do it. But then I got the grade, and like I said, I'm super thankful for the grade, because I don't know if I would have been motivated, if I would have, you know, cleaned the desk and got 100. I just think I was kind of bitter because I came up with something cool called Crippling Hot Sauce, and somebody else in my class had something generic, Jack's Lemonade. He got 100% plus extra credit. I'm like, dude.
Really?
I was like, dude, Jack's Lemonade.
That doesn't make sense.
But we
Yeah.
already like hard lemonade.
Right?
Like,
Wow, man. I think you got ripped off on that one.
no.
Yeah,
But
it's like,
honestly, it worked out well, because if he did get 100 in bonus
he was
credit,
saying,
he wouldn't have created it. And
yeah, I would have been like, yeah, but no, I just think, like, people like, what do you think? I'm like, it's a cool story, and it motivated me, and I just think it's what people forget to realize sometimes is everybody's entitled to their own opinion, and that doesn't
Right?
mean that they mean it in a malicious way. It's just their opinion, and that's the great thing about where we live is um, everybody is entitled to their own opinion. That doesn't mean you gotta agree to it. Doesn't mean um, whatever. It's just a beautiful part of about the place we live.
No,
Right.
yeah, I agree. And then it kind of goes to what Biz does on, TV too, because a lot of the times people don't agree with what he says. And, but he's very good at promoting like the brand of hockey, and being able to promote me and my platform and other people as well. Spit and Chicklets is such a great podcast, and I can't thank them enough for what they've done. So that's a great point. A lot of people don't agree with what they say, but you can also agree to disagree, right?
Yeah, that's what people have forgotten these days, and like that's why I'm such a big fan of Biz too, because even if people disagree, he believes so strongly in what he believes in, you gotta respect it. Like, he's
Yes,
not one
exactly.
that can be convinced easily. Like, I've been a Spit and Chicklets watcher for a long time now, and whether it's Biz or Whitney or even like his guests like Cam Jansen, they're just so like about their beliefs, and I think a lot of people just get persuaded so much by the media and other influencing factors these days that it's just refreshing.
Yeah. And I don't have a question for you, Drew, but just even after hearing you finish talking up about that, like, you've shown that you don't let people's opinion, you let them be entitled to it, and you use it as a positive spin for everything that you've done. The grade is the perfect example. You turned it into a incredible business already. And you've told us too about how many times you've been, kind of like Caesar said, like how many things you guys have been beaten and battered with throughout your life, that you have to take everything in stride. And you guys both have shown that you take everything in stride, for better or worse, right?
Literally in stride.
Yeah.
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 And one of the things too is when Caesar first told me about your story, and I love hot sauce. Like,
We both do. So this is going to be an awesome
Yeah,
test.
and as soon as I heard about it, I was like, I have to buy this right now. Like, this is meant for me. So we haven't opened them yet. We haven't tried because we were waiting for this today.
We were waiting for this moment, and we're going to have a little segment here called what were we going to call it again?
Oh, we didn't agree on a name yet.
So if you have any ideas here, Drew, the crippling ones. I like that one, right?
The crippled ones.
There we go. We'll do the crippled one. So I think that's perfect. So Drew, in this segment, we're gonna eat the wings. They're boneless wings, and you're gonna ask us questions. All right? What do you
Let's
say?
do it.
All right,
Perfect.
cool.
Let's get it set up.
All right. And we're back, and we got ourselves some boneless wings here.
And
Chicken nuggets or wings? I don't know.
They're saucy.
Basically, they're nuggets,
Yeah,
but you know.
saucy nuggets.
Well, I'm a big boneless guy too, mainly because I don't like to work for my food. I'm not.
I'm the same way, bro.
They had to do that back in the day with freaking bow and arrow. I'm good now. I can go to the store.
Nice.
I'm not a gatherer.
So in this segment, we're going to call it the crippling ones or the crippled ones. So Drew is going to be our host here for this segment, and we're going to go through each sauce now.
We're going to start with
this one is Life's a Beach for the South Florida vibe here.
Yeah, actually, when I created the label, the inspiration was Miami Vice.
I love that.
I think that's enough.
Oh, come on, you can go more.
And did you start recording yours too, Cameron?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Ooh, that's a lot seasoned. There you go.
You can already smell it.
It smells good.
It's really.
Ooh, it does have like the nice, like my tongue is starting to already like drool.
So when creating this one, what was the thought process behind the Life's a Beach?
Life's a Beach was like, I was like, we don't really have like a teriyaki style, and I knew like for me like that's my favorite thing to put on chicken, and like how I always came up with flavors is like when I found like a gap in my pantry for like, because I obviously you don't want to use other people's sauces, so like when I had a gap in my pantry after like 4 months of launching the original 3, I was like, let's come up with a like a teriyaki. And how I even come up with flavor ideas other than like flavors I like is I will actually come up with a funny flavor name and then shape the flavor around the flavor name.
Oh, nice. So you come up with the name first before you come up with the flavor.
Yeah, because the names are actually super hard to actually come up with like a funny name that's not like super offensive, that makes sense for the flavor. So it's actually easier to come up with name and then flavor.
Yeah, this one's really good.
I like it. I think. What do you think, Cam?
It's very good, and I get the teriyaki kind of taste too. It's very sweet. It's very sweet, and it's got some smokiness to it. So it's very, very. It's actually super flavorful.
When
I love it.
I also like. You'll notice I like my sauces on the sweeter side because, like, as a former fat ass, I still have a sweet tooth. I just needed to do it less calorie dense. So, like, when I like all my flavors are like shaped for myself, I just brought them out to market, and I always say like, and it comes the like this argument goes the same with like personality as well, but like I'm always one that like I don't change for anyone, just like I take customer feedback, but at the forefront of every like flavor idea is me, and like I don't like there's flavor suggestions we've gotten before, but I don't like those flavor profiles, so I don't like release them. I only release products I 100% 100% stand by and use, or else that's how you become like a TikTok shop guru, and I don't want to do
Right?
that.
I love that. I really do. And I love how you have too the 5% goes to charity. So, you know, that's really awesome. So it just brings out more on the brand, right? It brings out your cause and what it's all about. And I really, really enjoy that.
And also, speaking of the brand, I love the little person
Meter.
in the wheelchair meter
My
saying how hard it is. Like,
m-
that
my
is so smart.
my cousin kid is like helps me with all the design stuff came up with both the helped me come up with both the logo and like the details like that is, and like I'm super lucky to have like such a supporting family, because like I launched Crippling with like 3,000 bucks that I saved up from Christmas is and like birthdays from age 1 to 16. So I didn't have like a big corporate budget to spend on like, design and all this stuff, but like I just had family that was willing to step in and help me where they could. And thankfully I had a like an artist in the family, and he was like, yeah, I'll do it. And who would have known? Now we're here.
That's awesome. Yes,
I
and you know, it's all about the supporting cast, right? And I've always said it. Like I couldn't have done it without my two friends here as well, who've always been there to support me no matter what.
I
I think family is such a big thing too. Like my parents too, growing up, they never really gave me a limitation. Sure, you have a disability, so if you go out and play sports, know what you're getting into. Just don't come to us crying after, and just know your consequences, right?
my
So being able to live on the edge and being able to know what I can do and what I can't do, but for my parents to allow me to do that, I think is such a big um it's the reason why I am the person that I am today. And it
Mhm.
kind of shows that who you are too. Your parents gave you that opportunity of just being you, right?
Yeah, it's like, and I like tell this like, oh, like the number one thing that helped me growing up with a disability is not being treated any different by my family. Like me and my brother had the same brotherly like relationship that any other brothers did. We freaking hit each other like normal
Oh man, I
sibling.
have some stories like that as well.
Yeah,
True.
like
My brother
did
and
you
I would
did you see
always
the
fight.
wheelchair? No, but it also toughened me up, and like I
Yep.
still do stupid things to this day. Like last week I was in LA and got like jumped over by this random dude on rollerblades that I met at the skate park in my wheelchair.
I saw that. I saw
I
that. I was like, man,
I
this guy is living on the edge.
I went up the next day. I went up a sidewalk that was a little too steep and tipped over and busted my head open. But I got
Oh,
right back up and was like, "Was the cameras on?" Unfortunately, they weren't. But I reminds me
man.
like you know Flight Reacts. Have you
Yep.
seen that? I was like, he's like, I did this move, but the cameras weren't on. Yeah, like, oh,
Oh my
man,
God, that's crazy, man. You definitely live life on the edge. So let's kind of go into the second one, right, guys?
here.
Second one right here.
Here's a question for you. What is the most I always get interesting, like whether it be like disgusting or weird or crazy DMs, what's the craziest DM that you could tell on air that you've ever received?
Ooh, you know, I'm trying to think. Craziest DM. I haven't
Somebody
really.
somebody asked me to share sweet treats in bed with them one time.
No way.
I'm dead
That-
serious. I
yes, you
said
had me
I said I politely declined.
you know, I've actually haven't had any bad direct messages yet. Um, luckily, I've had some hate messages saying that you know you're just using your disability to to get you like clicks and likes. Like you don't, you know, you obviously this isn't the real person you are, you know. But obviously those people
I
are
get that same thing too.
right. But
And I
um,
respond to you jealous.
right. So as far as disgusting, not really. I've
More
gotten
like meatball,
Yeah, I
chicken
get
wings,
like
yeah,
the
I've,
mini
yeah,
me
I
getting
get
into your
like
bathroom.
I get crazy like FBI worthy DMs all the time. It's just like it's weird, but and also I
a
get
lot
like
of
people like being like also like the same as you like you're using your disability for views and like that's never like like that's not what happened at all. It's just like me showing my personality. I mean, but also it's just like anytime you're doing something with, you know, you're you know your kind of diagnosis at the forefront. I just think people are gonna say that, but also I feel like just like uh, uh, people
I really
just
like that one. That one's got more like
Mhm.
a green pepper taste to it.
And this one's just for the parking, which I'm sure you guys have a lot of stories.
oh yeah yeah we actually like uh yeah, I have a lot of just for the parking stories, but I always laugh. It's like, me in a power wheelchair, I actually don't need the handicap parking as much as other people do. Because my wrist moves me, it doesn't take any work. So, I just think it's funny the fact that, like, yeah, I'll have, like, even, like, people I wouldn't consider friends in school, like, parking handicap spots, like, I'd be like, dude, why are you doing that? Like, you just took a handicap spot from that old lady that would need it way more than you. You play high
Right?
school football, you know?
Does that irritate you? I wanted to ask
um,
you that.
I not much irritates me because I throughout my life I'm kind of like this stay in your own lane sort of dude, and so like I'm one of those guys that like I don't need to correct somebody because like karma will eventually. So like
Okay.
so it's just kind of how I roll, and like I'm also like not the most confrontational person, like especially in like in like a in person setting, like unless you like really like make me mad or like attack my family or something, probably not gonna say anything to you, but um yeah, I can say a bunch of shit online just like everybody else can. But
Online, it's like it's a safe place, right?
yeah,
We can. They don't really know who you are physically unless they
yeah.
see your profile pic.
What are you gonna
So,
do? Jump through the screen? No,
what is
but
the most like? Have you gotten a message to where it bothered you actually? That it actually bothered you, and what was that
um,
message?
yeah, the messages that bother me is like there's people that think like the that my family is using me for money or my family like started this and they're like just forcing me to be the spokesperson, but really in reality like it's like the complete opposite, and the only reason that that bothers me is it kind of shows like the public perception of the disabled community and like the fact that people think that disabled people can't make something out of themselves, so it must be like their family. That's the only thing that really bothers me is like I was like it almost feels like you know like basically the people in decades prior has kind of failed to educate people in the disabled community, and like the funniest comments, well not fun but like the comments that I think are funniest are like the people that are like, when did you get in your car accident? Because like it's
Oh,
a
I've had those.
common
I've had
it's
those.
it's a common like misconception that like if you're like there and you can move a decent amount of your body that you're just like paralyzed and that's the only option. But I was like got in my accident at birth, man. It was a tough one.
Right?
I got sideswiped.
You got sideswiped by Shamu at SeaWorld. That's what happened.
Yeah, somebody crossed the center lane and got me. I don't know.
Had to be in the splash zone.
Oh my gosh, that's
But
great. Um, I love that. Yeah, for me, honestly, the one thing that really bothers me is sometimes when I'm going in the public and you see these little kids, and when the kids start pointing at you and they start saying stuff, and their parents allow it. I think that bothers me more. Not so much the kids, because obviously they're kids; they don't know any better. But for the parents allowing them to do that and just like you know to me, that bothers me.
Yeah. And I think for me too, just being around Caesar, back when he would drink,
Oh.
everyone would just think they wouldn't. I'm like, oh yeah, he was drinking, and they're looking at me like what? Like they thought that was like part of his, condition, which
yeah,
does allow him to get away with screaming at the top of his lungs in a movie theater. And they're like, oh, it's fine. But there's things like that too, where it's like, oh, no, he's just drunk. And they're like, oh, like, where's his parents? Are you his caretaker? Like, where's his nurse? Like, all of this stuff. And it's like, no,
yeah,
he just
like
had a drink.
I can say I get away with like a lot of stuff that like basically like this is perfect. So like I used to do this kind of, I called it a life hack back when I was younger. Like when I was in high school, I would take all my friends to like a baseball game and then like buy tickets third party off like StubHub, which you can't traditionally exchange.
Right.
I would scurry my ass up to the ticketing booth and like do the sad story about how these tickets were given to me, and like
I
I
do the
like they're
same
not,
thing.
and like they're like oh I'm so sorry, let's put you 10 rows off the field with all your butt. I'm like sounds
That's
good.
why they like going to concerts and events with me, because we always seem to hook it up, right?
It's like
That is a very nice
uh,
thought to say
I
that.
mean, here's the thing. If people are like, I would have changed that mindset. But if people don't like kind of see my content to realize I'm not a baby, and you're still gonna treat me like what, I'm gonna use it to my advantage. And
Right? And how many times do you see people in those spots that don't need that spot,
it's
right?
like yeah, it's like I was at last time I was at a Blues game. There was this guy sitting in an ADA compliant spot. I'm like, dude, you're probably disabled now at the end of the game because you had 20 IPAs. But
That would be
uh,
Biz.
yeah, I think you were good at the start. Like I
Right?
just like, but it's definitely definitely obviously like, and like my favorite part about like like I don't know how you do it, but like every time it's like you get on a plane, and it's
Mhm.
like I obviously travel with like my like somebody my age, she's my best friend, so everybody's like just like talking to him as if he's my brother, and he's like, dude, he pays me to do this. They're like they're like, oh, the government doesn't pay you. He's like, no, they're like, and they're like, oh, they're like, or it's like people would like give me like give me a sorority squat, like they'll just like hands between the knees squat down to me. How you doing, buddy? I'm like good.
That's too funny. So let's kind of move on to the next one, the third one.
This one is
Limping.
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 It's like a
This one-
it's like a salsa verde. That one.
Okay.
So like
right
you
now-
talk about like what I would consider great on like a Chipotle burrito, that would slap on a Chipotle
Okay.
burrito.
Okay.
I'm
How
actually
is it so far, Cam?
I'm doing okay so far.
Oh,
I
yeah.
would
Wait
still
until
say
you get to the hot and ghost pepper palsy. That's gonna ghost
I
pepper
would
palsy
say
will
that
take you out.
I would say that this one was not as bad as I was anticipating, but I did have a couple of sips of the milk after just for parking. So
Oh.
Are you after the oh, okay. Yeah, you
Okay,
might be.
just
Yeah.
real quick before I bite this, is this actually going to make me limp?
Well, I think if it didn't make me limp, and plus I think limping would be an upgrade of what I currently have.
I agree there. All right.
Yeah, I definitely feel like this belongs on. Like, the
So
top
Caesar,
row.
how did you become a Panthers fan?
Good question. Oh, you're going to start sweating.
Yeah.
I'm
So,
gonna put this cap on. Sorry.
I love this one. I think this is my favorite so far. Great question. So, ooh, that's kind of little.
Let's get into
Let's
it.
get into it.
That's good.
Do you need a water or something, Caesar?
I'm good. So basically, I became a Panther fan in 1996.
Wasn't that like when they were?
When they
They're not much older than that. So
no, they were
if anyone.
they came into the league in 1993, and I moved to Florida. I was born in 1986, so that goes to show you how old I am.
20 years older.
So I'm 20 years older than you. I moved to Florida because my parents knew I needed better doctors, and Joe DiMaggio Children's Hospitals was one of the best hospitals in at the time. So we moved to Florida. I moved to Florida 2 weeks before Hurricane Andrew hit, and so we ended up living here since 92. 96, John Van Beesbrook, the goalie at the time, came to my elementary school, and he presented us with his goalie pads. Got to meet him in general, and I thought that was the coolest thing in the world, getting to see his mask and everything. And when I got home and I told my dad about it, he said, "Oh, the Panthers are doing really good this year." I was like, "Really?" And that's how I started becoming to follow them. The year of the rat. So after every goal, they would throw a rat on the ice, and I thought that was really awesome. So I've been a longtime Panther fan, but in general, I started being a sports fanatic because of my disability and because of my dad. My dad got me into football, watching the Dallas Cowboys, being able to watch Emmitt Smith, Troy Aikman, Deion Sanders, and I actually wrote a letter to Troy Aikman, and he sent me an autographed picture of him in practice. He sent me a Super Bowl hat. So that's how I became loyal to them. And I became loyal to the Panthers because they were a local team, and John Van Beesbrook got me hooked.
And you could wheel your chair to the arena.
Literally, me and my little brother would literally roll to the arena. Back in 2016, he would get on the back of my chair, and we would ride to the arena to watch the games and stuff. So it's really, that's how I became a fan here.
Are you doing okay, Cam?
Yeah,
Blowing your
for those
nose?
who hadn't seen, I've definitely hit my limit.
This is my favorite one.
I think we've reached my limit of enjoying the spice because it was flavorful enough, but then after like my third bite of the boneless wing, I'm kind of like, now I feel it coming down.
What do you think of it?
It was good. I think I like the flavors of the other one better. I'm not a big salsa verde person, but I still liked it. It's so good.
I like the spice on that. I would prefer the spice on this and the flavor on the Miami.
What if you like mix them? Maybe we can do that later.
That's an idea.
We'll have Caesar mix them. So are we ready to really test out Kameron?
All right.
Which one's this one?
This one is Crippling Agony.
You're screwed.
Yeah, I don't think I was in Crippling Agony with the last one, but I was in agony.
No, I'm excited to see Ghost Pepper Palsy. It might end up with another person in a chair after that.
That's what I was gonna say. We might have to kick Caesar out of his chair, and I might do this.
I'm gonna have to figure out how to carry.
It might make me walk and get him in the wheelchair.
Yeah. If math taught me right, 2 negatives equal a positive.
Oh, you're putting a lot on there. Show the camera how much you put on there.
Oh, yeah.
Show the camera.
So everybody knows I'm not chickening out here.
Oh, okay.
I'm going for it.
Smell
Dude,
it.
you said you hit your
Ooh,
limit
that
at
one's
the.
spicy. I can smell the spice.
I'll let
Oh
you go.
yeah.
So should we watch Cameron eat it first and then we eat it after?
I'm ready to do it with him.
Okay. Here. I'll do it too.
Yeah.
Can we do a little cheers?
Yeah, let's do it.
You're gonna need a Charmin sponsor after this.
There we go.
Okay.
I don't taste the heat yet, and that's what scares me.
Yeah, habanero is usually delayed.
Okay. Okay, so far.
I'm pretty good.
That's good. I added some
I think
more.
the other one was hotter.
So some people say that, and so what's interesting about peppers is spice is what brings on these spices actually a allergic reaction to your tongue. So some people have different like some people think that habanero is less spicy than serrano because of their the reaction to it, but technically on a Scoville scale, which is how you measure heat, technically the hot is scientifically hotter than medium. But
Cameron's struggling.
I feel the sweat already. I'm not gonna lie.
You want to take off your hat?
I actually feel it on my forehead. I'm
Do
trying
you
to.
see it? Caesar?
No, probably not.
yeah,
Okay. I like that one.
I would say you should leave the hat off so we can see it.
I can feel the spice now. It takes a while. When you first eat it, you don't really feel it.
Yeah.
Right?
yeah,
It
that's where
tastes
it's like that was like my dad's favorite when I was trying like that's what he doesn't like hot sauce at all, but I didn't tell him what was in it. I just knew he would taste the flavor at first. He was like, "Oh yeah, that's my favorite." Then 5 minutes later, he came back to me. He's like, "You suck, Drew."
That's why I said I was like, I don't taste it at first, and that's what's scaring me.
Oh my god.
Because now that my tongue's definitely having that allergic reaction that you're speaking of.
I
But
didn't know it was allergic reaction.
That's pretty cool. That's interesting. Who in your family can handle it better? You or your brother? Or how many people in your family?
so the person that could probably handle it best is like either me, my brother, or my cousin who also works with me on my cousin Josh works with me on like the business side of things. My brother can handle it just because he like is a career Marine and he's used to eating MREs and shit, so like spice
Cool.
is
My brother
not
was also in the military. He was in the Marines as well.
he
So
was
that's pretty
like
awesome.
so it's like he's also like so he can just handle it just because he's used to eating terrible stuff, and then I think
Should I throw this on him?
but I will say anybody can like have a heat tolerance. The friend that I was talking about that works for me and helps me out, he started off just like you and now he can eat ghost pepper stuff with ease. It's totally just like training your body.
Well,
We
this
gotta
is
train him.
Cameron with a higher tolerance. He was even worse when we first started dating.
Yeah, like I couldn't even tolerate the buffalo sauce, to be honest. And even now, there's still some buffalo sauces that get to me. Like a couple of weeks ago, we had a buffalo chicken, and I'm literally sitting here like, feel my forehead. I'm sweating so much, and that's just buffalo sauce.
Should we make him sweat and do the last one?
Oh yeah, we're about to hit the last one. I'm excited for this one.
I chugged a ghost pepper palsy on air. Yeah.
No way.
Oh,
Oh my gosh.
How did you do after?
My toilet didn't do great, but
I was gonna say your toilet or your chair.
no, thankfully I made it to the toilet, but
Okay.
it was cutting it close.
I was gonna say camera.
That's a lot.
Oh wow.
I can't live my life in fear.
I do.
Okay?
Oh,
Why did you jump so?
Yeah, you guys are helping me overcome adversity here.
Show the
right?
There we
camera
go.
how much you put on.
Show the camera how much I put on. Like there you go. I'm trying to not chicken out. There's still a little
This
bit
is
on my
what.
plate.
this is what real struggle is like. It's not having a disability. It's giving a guy that doesn't like hot stuff.
There we go. I love it.
If he can get through it, so can you.
Well, Caesar put a lot on his plate too, so I'm interested to see like. You know
Oh.
what? I'm just gonna.
This is mine.
He's actually dousing his whole thing in it. So like, I you know what? I'm gonna here. Let me get.
Are
it.
we all gonna
Oh,
die?
Yeah.
I will say you're not. I have had stuff that's had the hottest hot sauce in the world before, 15 million Scoville units.
Oof.
I thought I was gonna die. This is not that bad.
I want to ask you after I eat this.
Let's see.
Oh no, I feel it already. I taste it. I taste it right off the bat. I got the smokiness right off the bat.
Yeah,
On the back of the tongue.
you can't change that with a ghost pepper. It's in your face right now. But
Oh, yeah.
but thankfully I tamed it. It was supposed to be like our
Oh, yeah.
first rendition of this was 3 times hotter, but you also couldn't taste any flavor, so I dialed it back and tried to make sure you at least enjoyed it while you were getting your mouth destroyed. I don't know.
Are you guys enjoying?
I love that one. I think that's my favorite one.
That one's good.
As far as spiciness, that's my favorite one.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it, Drew.
As flavor, this is great.
Hey, you said you wanted to clear your sinuses.
I did. But
So-
at what cost?
Question: you said you've had 15 million Scoville, right?
Yeah, I thought it was gonna revert my cerebral palsy, but it did not.
I can see it did.
I thought it was gonna connect all the dots in my cerebral cortex. Finally, it felt like it first.
So, what was the name of the hot sauce or the spicy or the pepper that you ate? That
It's called Pepper X.
okay, Pepper X. Now, I don't know if you've seen the show Hot Ones, but they have a hot sauce called the Bomb. Have you ever tried the Bomb?
I have not, only because I saw it make Shaq cry, and I was like, if it's making that dude cry, I got no shot.
Right?
We've tried. Cameron and I have tried the last dab.
Yeah, and I was reacting just like I am now, and she was reacting just like this. No reaction whatsoever. There's sweat on my upper lip, by the way.
I love it. I love it.
So the sauce that I tried was made by a local shop here in St. Louis. They told me that this guy, the guy that created the Carolina Reaper, created this thing called Pepper X. So they got some and made it, and it was like, and then they also used extract, which is like, I looked at it, it's like white, it's a pepper extract, it's like basically white powder. And it's like, I have some called Pure Cat that's in liquid form that I bring to like parties and stuff, just to like prank people with, but like.
All right. So I'm gonna mix Life's a Beach and Crippled Palsy. All right.
Crippled Palsy. I like that name. I might change it.
Or that could be the next one.
That could be your next one there.
So it goes ghost pepper, then crippled palsy.
Maybe mixing these two flavors. That's an idea.
Well, yeah. We're like before like, remember when all those chips were like popular? Everybody was telling me to create like a super hot chip, and I knew it was gonna end badly eventually.
Have you tried one of those chips?
I have not. I was going to, but my the guy that works for me back when we were in school, he tried it. He literally sprinted to the bathroom, declothed it, started rolling around on a public bathroom. So
Oh,
Oh my god.
if it's that bad, he thought he was gonna die, and he started profusely puking into the toilet. And then I told him not to, but then he ran back to class, and his teacher gave him an apple, but that apple was a sour apple, so it
Oh my.
reactivated him.
Mm. Cam, Cam doesn't look too good right now.
No, I am definitely in crippling agony. Or actually, no, I'm sorry. I'm just in Ghost Pepper Palsy, which is the highest one. Ghost Pepper.
do you want?
So are you a Miami Heat fan too?
Yes.
Yeah.
All of us are Miami Heat fans.
I'm gonna be in Fort Lauderdale in January, so I might have
Well,
to.
let us know.
Excellent, yeah.
That's by us.
I might have to come to a Panthers game.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Yeah, and if you're coming to January, let us know exactly the date. Because they're having the Winter Classic in January.
January 2nd.
So maybe if you're coming in that date, that would be something we could all go to.
The Winter Classic in Florida. How does that work? We had a
No.
few in St. Louis that I went to, but how
Marlins Park.
They're doing it at Marlins Park, and they're going to have the roof open.
when they had the Winter Classic in St. Louis, it was -16.
Oh,
Here it's going to be like 80 degrees in
Literally.
January.
Yeah, it
So
was
did you went to the Winter Classic?
yeah. It was
How was that
-16.
experience?
I hated it because it was so cold. You couldn't even get into the game because like you're just freezing.
Wow. Wow. Drew, these are really amazing. I don't think there's one I don't like. Really.
We know which one Cam doesn't
I
like.
don't know which one I don't like. But I did like Life's a Beach. I went back for that one to kind of calm the tongue down a little bit, but
Yeah, it might be good that we have 2 of Life is a Beach.
yeah. It's honestly, that one's actually very sweet. The Life's a Beach. It's super, super sweet. I like that.
Awesome.
I'm glad I got my tongue back to normal after this ghost pepper palsy. Though I was kind of worried there.
Hey, I tried all of them. No water here for me.
Yeah,
Got-
you did really
got it.
well.
Got a
Fine.
question for you, Caesar.
Sure.
You had to get rid of one player out of Barkov, Tkachuk, and Marchand. Who you getting rid of?
Oh, you had to put me on the spot, man. Have you been hanging out with Biz too much? I mean, you both kind of dumped me with that same question. Oh man. Can I plead the fifth here?
I know who you're going to pick.
Yeah, it's probably the same one that I would pick. It's unfortunate to say it, but
I'm keeping everybody but Marchand. I hate to say it.
I mean, honestly, I respect that mainly because yeah.
He just got here.
I mean, literally. I love Marchand. He's such a character, man.
But then again, yeah, no, he's funny. Then again, I don't know if you remember, I had a vendetta against Torrey Krug from the 2019 playoffs when he absolutely left his feet and laid out Robert Thomas when they were like,
yes.
and then he like during the off season he joined, so I was like, damn it, like now I can't hate him. And then like I met him.
It was like that for me as well. Like I hated Brad Marchand. Every time we would go to Florida, he was one of those menaces that you hated to play against him, no matter what.
He slew foots people. But like I get he always gets away with it, so I guess it's good for him to be on your team. But then again, I also love Ryan Reeves, so it's like,
oh yeah,
it's like down the same boat. Nicest guy I ever met, but like
on the ice,
on the ice,
his character on the ice is questionable at times.
So I was going to ask you, growing up, which players? I'm good at growing up. Which players have you met in your life that have made a big impact in your life growing up?
The number one, my favorite player of all time, Vladimir Tarasenko.
Oh,
Stanley Cup champion with the Florida Panthers.
I would say he's
Vladimir
on your
Tarasenko.
shirt, but you're
No,
the
this is
new
this
shirt.
is this year's shirt. He's not on this one.
You guys didn't get to experience prime Tarasenko like I did. That dude was like a St. Louis legend.
Coast to coast goals is what he was doing.
And then on the power play, he just had such an unbelievable shot from the point.
Right? Yeah.
Amazing
Yeah.
skill.
Dude was my first celebrity crush. No, I'm kidding.
All right.
I've got one more question for you, Drew. Is it normal to have the chills after having the this last one, the ghost pepper pulse?
I don't. You might need to get that checked out.
I will say my toes do feel kind of cold right now.
All right, so it might just be.
I feel pretty
Well,
normal
also,
myself. I don't.
But like people in Florida aren't used to the cold, so maybe that's what it is. I don't.
I mean, we are next to the air vent, so maybe that can be it.
Meanwhile, it's just because your house is on 68 on accident.
It's actually at like 73.
That makes it even worse.
Which is cold in Florida because outside it's like 110.
Yeah, it's like what was it? 68 here today.
Wow. That's our winter.
That's literally our winter.
Wow, this was amazing. So where can people buy these hot sauces?
Yes.
Thecripplingcompany.com.
Cripplingcompany.com. And how many sauces do you have in total? Because we just have 5
We
right here.
We have 6.
6. Okay. And is there a limit to where you're gonna have on as far as hot sauce? Are you gonna create more than 6?
We are working on. Well, I'll just tease. We're gonna start dropping quarterly limited edition flavors.
Oh, nice! I love that. I love that.
Voted on by the people.
Nice.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So I also see you're selling merch as well. For those of you that are looking at the overlay there, we got Drew there with his shirt.
We got handicaps and disabilities.
I love it. That's so awesome, man. Man, Drew, honestly, this has been real. I've had so much fun learning about you and your story. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Keep that spirit up and never change for nobody. I think this is truly incredible. And for you getting the awareness of just not only CP, but anybody who has a disability, whether it's physical, mentally, there's no limits. There's no limits. The only limits you have is the limits you put on yourself. And that's something that I'm using on my platform to help others achieve their goals, right? And I'm really happy that we got to share your story with our platform and with everybody around here.
Yes, and I really appreciate both of you guys because I think so many people get caught up on what we're told, what we can't do. And at the end of the day, the one who has the ultimate say what you can and can't do is yourself. So we can be our biggest enemy sometimes. And I think you two are proofs of that, of like, hey, you said I can't do it. And guess what? I'm doing it. You said, oh, I don't think I'll be able to drink champagne out of the cup. Guess who did
Literally.
it? He said, who's going to.
Wait, that was a real thing?
Yeah, last year he was like, oh, I want to drink champagne out of the Stanley Cup. That will be the only way I'll drink. And we're like, yeah, sure. What are the odds of you actually drinking champagne out of the Stanley Cup?
And then me and Shauna did not go to 11. And then we wake up and the first thing we see is Caesar getting waterboarded by the Stanley Cup.
That's incredible.
So every time we're like, I don't know. He's like, I'm gonna make it happen because remember this and this and this. So
how many times have people told me no? And I was able to give a speech there too, and I said, so many times in my life, people doubted me, and look at us now. We're back-to-back Stanley Cup champions. And
you think you're gonna three-peat?
Yeah,
I think so.
I think so. I mean, hey,
How much bias is that? How much fan bias is it?
Hey, well, look, we're still not even the betting favorite. It's Edmonton again. So I mean, we've been the underdog every single time. So I'm taking
Edmonton's good, but they will never be able to win a cup because it's 2 players.
Yep, that's what I've been saying this whole time, but I'm calling it now. It's going to be Vegas versus Florida next year. It's going to be another rematch.
I can see that happening. I can see that. And who knows? St. Louis made some good moves this year. Maybe it could be Florida, St. Louis, and if it does, I think Drew and I are gonna have to go at it here on X.
Yeah, if so, we're gonna do if we make it, challenging you to a boxing match.
Oh,
No,
make sure
everybody else is doing it. If Jake Paul can do it, so can we.
Yeah, why not? Pay-per-view, right? Oh man, thanks so much, Drew. I had such a blast doing this, man. We'll definitely have your links below on the description. Like I said, keep doing what you're doing, and like I always say on my platforms, one shift at a time, one period at a time, one game at a time. Let's go.